Because this man is a 4-time Super Bowl winner, gonna be a Hall of Famer whenever the hell he wants, a legend in 2 different cities for 2 different teams, a man who taught me how to be a much better ball kicker and human. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Vinatieri.
Guys.
Hey, so, all right, I see you're sitting in your office there. Is that, I saw a video last night of you promoting your cameo, by the way, which we will get to. The room you were in was maybe football heaven at that point. Is that your office?
That's it's down by the bar area in the basement. So if I spin around, you can get a good little view of what's going on. But you know, it's something my wife wanted to do. I told her, I said, you can make me crazy in one area, but don't spread it all over the house. It makes it look egotistical shrine kind of thing. So she did a nice job down here, and it looks good.
So you can go down. This is actually a good conversation. You probably never wear your rings or celebrate many of the things that you've accomplished that have been unbelievable. But I like the fact that on Super Bowl Sunday, maybe Super Bowl weekend, you go down in that room and you go, you know what? The kid fucking did it. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we just reminisce. I got some pictures on the wall from some awesome games, you know, a couple of Super Bowl things and that kind of thing. So it's awesome just to come down here and remember and reminisce about. I mean, it's been a long time since you and I played in one, but it's not that far, you know, not that long ago.
The interesting thing about you, whenever people think about kickers and Vinatieri in general, it's just like, you're like the most clutch dude in the history of sports. Like the biggest moments you always came through in. And it was, now I'm not saying you haven't missed or anything like that, but it felt like in those massive moments, Super Bowl, AFC championship games, even game winners and divisional rounds and everything like that don't even get talked about, which if you don't hit, you don't move on to the whole thing. What is it about those moments, Vinny? Because I told the story that you become just like this, you know, ice-face steel character. It looks like you're trying to stare daggers through your holder. But what is it? What is it about those moments that made you go, I'm going to go the opposite way of many people here. I'm going to have success here?
Yeah, Pat, you know, for me, I just try to stay in my little world, you know. I just try to block out all the other stuff. And I guess, you know, you saying like I'm Iceman or Stone Cold, whatever. I guess that's just me kind of trying to block out all the other craziness and just really stay focused on my little world. I always tell everybody, you know, you can only control what you can control, and let everybody else do their job around you, and we all get paid to do it, man. So it's been very fortunate to have a bunch of opportunities to stand in the middle of the field with all eyes either hoping I make it or hoping I miss it, and more times than not they've gone through, which is a good thing. But yeah, as I'm looking at all these pictures, man, you're gonna make me cry, man.
Yeah.
We're all over right now just looking at all these pictures and remembering these good days.
Yeah, so you played, obviously, you're 48 years old now. I believe you played last year when you were 47, which, by the way, awesome. Absolutely awesome. But you listen to Tom Brady talk, and he said he wants to play, well, I think he said past he was 45 now at this point or whatever. You played till you're 47, 2 very different positions, but still have to be able to keep it physically and mentally, the competitive edge and everything like that. Have you and Tom kept in touch much? And what do you think it is about you guys who play forever that make you still love the whole process and everything like that?
Well, for sure, Tom's situation is much more difficult than being a kicker. Obviously, we have to keep our body healthy and in shape, but what he does is a whole different level of us punters and kickers and whatever. You know, for me, it's a different situation. For Tom to continue to be at the level that he's at and still doing it as good as ever just blows me away. I mean, obviously, we all know about his avocado ice cream and all the crazy stuff that he does.
Hey, do you do that? Do you do that? I knew you were into that pliability stuff a little bit.
You know what? Somebody send me some. I'll go ahead and try it. I can't imagine it's very great, but you know, Tom looks better today than he did, obviously, when he entered the league. But he looks like he keeps getting younger. And you know what? The greatest part for me, everybody asks, you know, hey, who do you want to win this game? I'm cheering for Tampa Bay for many reasons. For Brady, for Bruce Arians, for AQ Shipley, you know, our team, all the above.
Clyde.
Halfway through the season, everybody was writing Tom off, saying he should have retired. He's washed up. He can't do it. And all he does is keeps going out there and showing everybody wrong. So I hope he can do it one more time. And hey, this is rated PG or rated R. Shake his dick on everybody. Whatever he needs to do. I mean, he deserves it 9 times. If he wins this one, you know, however many Super Bowls, it's ridiculous. I mean, he's been in as many as half as many as years as he's been in the league, and that is absolutely insane.
So did you now? Are you going to play? Like, what are you? Are you still? You know, are you still kicking? Because your kid, by the way, hey, his kid bombs balls. Like, hey, there's going to be a Vinatieri in the league. Now, listen, he can't say it because that'll be, I mean, the kid already has immense pressure because he's Adam Vinatieri's kid, but he seems to handle it very well. He bombs balls. Are you out there kicking alongside him ever?
So he's doing really, really well. He's matured a lot in the last year, and he's actually gotten very focused and very serious about it. And that, as you know, as soon as you commit to it and you work your butt off, sky's the limit at that point. So it's fun for me to watch. I've been out there. I've kicked the balls with him a few times. Not every time. Not every time. I'm not saying I'm making a comeback or anything one way or another. All I'm saying, buddy, is it's taken me a year to get back, and now I feel pretty good. But it's absolutely exciting taking him to these different camps and watching him do his thing, and it's been fun because there's 150 kids out there, and inevitably he finishes in the top 1 or 2, and I go, hell yeah, that's my boy, you know? So I'd still be proud of him if he was finishing dead last, but it's more fun when he's kicking ass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would assume those are much more joyful conversations. Sounds like you said you're potentially coming back, by the way. That is going to be a big takeaway from what you just said. I'm not saying it, I'm just telling you that's what people are potentially going to say that you said there.
Well, I know this last year I said, hey, I'm going to try to get healthy and see if I could come back. At no time during this year was I healthy enough to do that. I mean, I just wasn't. You know, it took me a lot longer to get my knee right, but I've been getting back and working out and doing some running and feel pretty good. You know, and maybe that's just because the stress level's down and not banging balls all the time. But no, I'm not going to say one way or another. I might just wait 2 more years and come back at 50, play half. Who knows?
Could you imagine your 50-year-old ass walking out there, ladies and gentlemen? The 50-year-old Adam Vinatieri. It would be legendary. Now, not that what you haven't done already isn't, but you get it, whatever I'm saying. Connor?
Adam, you've won 2 Super Bowls on the last kick with that right leg of yours. Is every kick the same for you, or was there a moment during either the Panthers kick or the Rams kick where you're like, oh, shit, this is it?
You know, it's kind of funny because you think about as a kid growing up, that's the biggest moment that I could ever have imagined as, you know, hey, being out there kicking the game winner in a Super Bowl doesn't get any bigger than that. But the crazy part about it, I think when we played the Rams, we were such big underdogs. There wasn't, don't get me wrong, at the end of the game, there's plenty of pressure on, but it didn't have that same feel. I would say Carolina and I missed a kick earlier in that game, and they were coming back, kind of a different game. I would say the nerves were maybe even a hair more there because that was expected. You know, the first one, everybody was, you know, I hate to say it, there's plenty of Pats fans that said, man, the curse of the whatever, they just assumed that we were going to lose. And, man, he's got to miss his kick because we can't win a Super Bowl. And now you just flip the coin, and they've been in it so many times, now it's an expected thing, you know. But I guess for me, you know, after a few weeks before that in the Snow Bowl game and the Raiders, I guess nothing could rattle me too terribly much after going through that silly game.
What a joke you made that kick. What an absolute joke. You know how those videos go, by the way. That's why the kickers have, like, the stereotype that they have, because in those moments, big slip, right? Big slip, ball goes into ass, some scrum happens, breaks collarbone, something like that. And instead, your dumbass just walked out there and made it. There's no way you're supposed to make that snow kick at all. And then the one from Buffalo a couple years ago, you're not supposed to make that kick at all. It's awesome to watch you do that type of shit.
Well, I tell you what, those are 2 lucky kicks, obviously.
I agree, yeah.
But I tell you what, you know, that's one thing my son keeps talking about. You know, hey, Dad, I want to play college ball somewhere warm. And I go, I tell you what, playing up north and playing in crappy conditions in wind and rain and snow and lousy fields prepares you for all of these other things. Now, playing in South Dakota doesn't guarantee me making any of those kicks, but practicing every day outside in New England, and Bill would never let us go inside. I mean, it could be torrential rain or 4 inches of snow, and we're out there practicing this muddy shit, and you're just sitting there going, this is ridiculous. But I think that there's certain things that if you can do that and handle it, you're just that much better off in the long run.
That's Patriot way, Vic.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you heard that conversation right now about Patriot way? Have you heard that entire conversation that's popping off right now? Have you heard it from outside, or you?
You know, the Patriot way right now is probably changing a little bit. I don't know. I'm just trying to keep my nose to the ground.
Very smart, by the way. He might be kicking for New England next year. What do you got, Diggs?
Adam, we're trying to make some money tonight. Pat has told us his story about kicking off a Super Bowl and how bad the ball was. You obviously kicked off against Hester. It was not a touchback. Did you cook off?
30-yard line kickoff, by the way. 5 yards steeper. Have a little respect for it, man. I got you, dude.
What are the chances you think there's a touchback off the opening kickoff?
Well, I tell you what, I know Tony's mentioned that, and he was on your guys' show and he talked about it. But, you know, our special teams was doing so good in the postseason that we weren't going to be afraid of Hester. You know, we knew how great he was on punt return, but he hadn't done as much kickoff return-wise. And we said, you know what? We're just going to kick it down there, and we're going to kick their asses is what we thought. And, about 90-something yards later in the end zone, we decided to break our sword and never kick to him again the rest of the game. So I was either squib kicking in the corner, anywhere that he wasn't is where we were kicking. We weren't going to let him ruin the game for us. And after that was done and over with, game went the way we expected.
Yeah. Do you remember, by the way, I mean, that had to feel, the mental toughness of the team to give up the opening kickoff for a touchdown. That could potentially bury you. That could, especially in that big stage of a moment. I mean, that's a big deal. But then, obviously, you guys did what you had to do there. You tackled Herschel Walker, though. You know what I mean? Like, didn't you walk him? You actually walked him. There's that legendary video of you walking him. Devin Hester, like, bad angle? What happened? How come?
About 15 years and about 30 pounds later, you know?
I do know. Hey, I do know exactly what you're
22 years old when the Herschel Walker thing happened. I think I was 35 or 6 or whatever the heck I was at the other one. So maybe not quite as fast. I got my jersey nice and green and dirty, but no can do.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you remember the ball being rock hard, though? Opening kickoff ball?
Yeah, they screw us every year. Or they always kind of – so the first ball that they go out there, the referee doesn't even dig into the bag of balls and tries to find the 4 that we have broken in. They just grab whatever they want to, and they don't really care about us. And it was lousy. And I know sometimes they do that throughout. How about when we were in London? Every single one of those balls.
Oh, Walt! I hate that man still to this day. That referee Walt. You remember he called offsides on me because I was bitching at him so much on an extra point. I thought you were going to kill me. It was. Me and Walt had that moment.
Thank God we made the next one.
Yeah, thank God you did. I mean, it was I did nothing. By the way, never gets talked about, your mental toughness. I don't know how many kickers are going on 3 or even 4 sometimes on set. I honestly have no idea how many teams and kickers would be able to handle that. I don't think I would have been able to, by the way, with what we were doing. We used to go on like 3 hard counts, by the way. Like it was awesome. There was no reason for us to be able to do it, though. Normally the kicker would be like, hey, I stumble a little bit, so we can't be doing that. I got to make the kick tie. What do you have?
Adam, speaking of mental toughness, obviously you always have to be prepared, but in any of those big games, was there a point in like the early in the game, second quarter, anything where you kind of just knew like, hey, this is probably going to come down to me?
Every single game, I thought it was coming down to me, honestly. It seemed like that. You know, it's funny, though, when we had – you know, obviously, I'll digress back to the Patriot way. The year we won our first Super Bowl, I think we had 5 game winners that season, including the Super Bowl and the Snow Bowl kick, the 3 other. So that year, I definitely earned my money. You know, we go to Indy, and Peyton seemed to like to throw up 50 or 60 points every game. So it usually wasn't coming down to a field goal unless the other team could keep up as well. But I prepared myself thinking that a lot of time, Pat, tell me, we had an offensive coordinator that told us at one point, I just want to win by 1 point.
I've told the story
Like,
before.
I want to win by 30 and blow kisses to my family. By 1 point. Shit, that means it comes down to me all the time.
Hey, I told that story. Actually, I've told that story a couple times, and I said, we used to have this coach. I mean, you went one step further there. I tried to keep it as bland as possible. I said we used to have this coach who would come sit next to us, and I don't know if that was like to calm himself down or whatever, but we always had a good conversation. Like always had a good conversation. And then one time I said like, good luck out there, Larry, or whatever, and he said, just trying to win by or have one more point than they have. And you literally, Vinny goes, how about we try to win by 50 or something like that? It was a wild decision.
Let's score.
Let's not have our hearts just beating out of our chest the entire second half, pal.
3 and out so they can catch up, right?
Vinny, I have to ask one more time here. You're going to kick next year in the NFL, huh? There's a chance.
Are you going to kick next year in the NFL?
No, I can't do it. I'm doing my thing here. You know what I mean?
Working on having babies and all that stuff.
Working on trying to, man. You think I'm going to suck as a dad? By the way, listen.
Great. You're going to be the funnest dad on the planet.
How many kids do you have?
3 that I know of. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, hey, you were a handsome son of a bitch back then. Hey, not that you aren't now or whatever. You enjoy life, though, at home? Like, because, a lot of football guys, whenever they get done with football, they don't really know what to do. Have you enjoyed your time at home with the family and everything?
So this year's been interesting, obviously, with the whole COVID thing. I mean, it shoved everybody into close quarters with a lot of people. And thank God I get along with my family pretty well, all in all. I mean, there's some days that everybody's kind of in each other's space and on each other, you're kind of pulling your hair out and stuff. But honestly, I really enjoyed this year. I had the opportunity to help my son at his high school. I was kind of the honorary special teams coach, if you will, and did a bunch of stuff with them, which kept me around football and kept me kind of engaged in all that. Got to travel around a lot this year and spend some time with my family that I haven't ever got to do in the fall before. So honestly, and then I guess with all the COVID tests and all the crazy stuff going on at all the NFL's facilities, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I had this year off. I got to spend a lot of family and not get my nose swabbed every single day. And
plus, you're older. I mean, you are in that.
Oh, yeah, I'm at high risk now.
Hey, Vinny,
I got my 2 months. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't yet.
Hey, the heads or tails here. What do you think?
I know. Heads.
I know.
I know why, too.
I do know why.
Anyway.
Yeah. I do know why. I bet on tails 30,000, Adam.
Did you really?
30,000 on tails.
Well, you got a 50-50 chance, buddy.
I don't like that you're not on my side, but immediately upon asking you, I knew your answer. Like, as it was coming out, I was like, oh, we've had this conversation about 100 times before. Right. All right. Well, I appreciate you, man. I can't wait for you to go in the Hall of Fame, whenever that's going to be. Maybe 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, whenever you decide to stop. You're the best, dude.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me on, and enjoy the game tonight, fellas.
Hey, who do you got? Yeah, you got Bucks, huh?
I got to go with Tampa Bay, man. I don't know if they're going to pull it off or not. I mean, smart money says you take the spread, you take Kansas City, but I really want to see Bruce Arians. I want to see him win one, and I got some friends over there, and selfishly, I just want to see them win.
Hey, I got a lot of friends over there too, and I bet on the Chiefs. All right, Adam Vinatieri. Oh man, he's the best, dude. Oh. He's the fucking best.
Legend.
He's coming back.
Yeah.
By the way, that's like this year, with the training and everything like that, he wasn't kicking as good as he thought he could. And then he's gotten to the point now, I think a couple different times where he's like, ooh, it's still in there. Hold on. That son-of-a-bitch is still in there. What an electric start. We got about 15 seconds until we're live on Sirius XM. I know. Do we even mention how good the convo was with Vinny there? Nah.